Hello everybody, welcome back to March on FPL. I'm very sorry that there hasn't been videos recently. I've been very busy, but going forward there will be a lot more consistency with videos weekly. I did want to put a quick video out today. I'm recording this on the Friday morning. Obviously the deadline in this afternoon, this evening. This is where my head's at the minute. And to be honest with you, it's a bit all over the place. I've got this up on screen. I've also got a couple of things that I'm going to show you. I'm just going to get straight into it with what I'm thinking. If the deadline was in 5 minutes, this is what my team would be. As you can see, there's a big thing, no Salah. Now, what does that mean? It means captaincy is very, very difficult over the first 6 weeks. It also means, though, you can fit every player that you want to in, which I have done. I really, really like this team. I really like this team. There's a couple things that still could change, as I should go through in a minute. Um, this would be a bench boost game week one, free hit game week two. It's using the chips early. I think a bench boost game week one is just the best strategy because I don't think it's a great chip. However, at the start of the season, if you know people are going to play, which in this team I believe every single one of them start, you can pick players that have got the better fixtures and you can get quite a nice bench boost out of it instead of having to worry about having to wild card into it and then people getting injured that week, etc. So this is what it's at in the minute. The starting team, I'm just going to run through it. It'd be Sanchez in goal. It'd be Porro, Murillo, and Van Dijk. It'd be Gakpo, Fernandez, Palmer, Wirtz, and then Watkins, Mateta, João Pedro. Reinders, Diouf, Rodon, and Perry on the bench. The captain this week would be between Palmer and probably Gakpo for me. Maybe Watkins, but I'm thinking Gakpo. I think Gakpo against Bournemouth. I think Liverpool team is absolutely amazing attacking. I think obviously everyone's going to go for Salah. Gakpo's going to be differential. Um, s- but you know he's a goal scorer. I think Gakpo. Um, his minutes are going to be quite good, I think, and especially opening the season. Maybe if Liverpool do go and get Isak and Ekitike shifts to the left, etc., then it changes it up a bit. Wirtz, I think, is another option for captaincy. Um, Obviously in the same game, but potentially more of an assister than a goal scorer. So I'm leaning towards Gakpo at the minute. Palmer, um, Palmer will be a captain for me, probably further down the line, maybe like game week three, game week four, maybe even five as well. Game week two, it could be, but I'm probably bench boost, probably free hitting, sorry. So I could put an Arsenal player like Gyökeres or Saka on because they're against Leeds, of course. But for the first week, I think Crystal Palace is very, very difficult. Maybe not so much defensively, so maybe I do go Palmer. Um, yeah, this is my team at the minute. If I have got blank canvas here for us to kind of go through where my head's at. This is the no Salah free hit draft, okay? I'll edit this one after if I change it to not free hit, 'cause obviously then I can get rid of Perry, which by the way could be any 4.5 million goalkeeper. I think just Perry at the minute in my head. Maybe I could go for Bruggen, and I'm not too sure about a double Leeds defense, but it is against Everton. I think that could be quite nice. Again, Diouf could be like a Van der Ven who's got a good fixture that week, but also really nice on the longer term. I also think a better defense than West Ham. So this team, yeah, we'll get to tinkering with it in a second. But starting off for me, I'm just going to put in the absolute nail players. So Sanchez is in. I'm going to build a Salah draft. So Salah is in. Palmer is in. Is there anybody else that's absolutely nailed? I'll put in a 4 million goalkeeper in Dubravka. Someone like a Watkins potentially. I think Porro is actually pretty almost definitely locked for me, as is probably a Forest defender in Marilla. I think he is pretty much locked for me. Now it comes on to some more budget players. I think Gakpo is almost a lock as well. Um, Obviously, this is not a tinker and this can change. If I was to go for this, I think Rutter would be a little bit of a lock, as would Elliot Anderson. As you can see, we're building a little team there. Which means I think I'd go for Ollie Watkins. For this, I don't really want him playing every week, uh, Elliot Anderson. However, I think in this structure, he kind of is going to have to. So you'd have to go for Mark Gui, and then you've got a 7.5 striker. I think you go for Mateta. That leaves us 15 in the bank, averaging 5 million across the defenders, which is actually quite nice. Yeah, that is actually really nice. So I think you'd probably go for an Anderson, then probably put in a Road on, and then it'd probably be Van Dijk. Got 6.5 in this team as I've just built, which I actually like the look of this. I really do. We could go for we've got we could go for another 4.5 quite comfortably and have a really nice team with 2 million to upgrade somebody. I don't know who that would be. Maybe an Anderson to 7.5. Let's have a look. So if we go for, let's just go for Van de Ven just for this sort of thing. We could upgrade Anderson to 7.5 million midfielder, which I haven't really looked at. I don't really like the 7.5 million midfielders, to be honest with you. I'd want to get up to a Verts. That's why we're missing Bruno. And Bruno probably is a lock for me, which obviously makes it a lot more difficult. You'd have to get rid of Gakpo, probably Anderson, and then you'd upgrade um, the 4.5 million, or I think I'd actually do this. I'd go for Van Dijk and I go for Williams, and then would be a starting along with your full midfield, and then your two forwards with Mark Gui on the bench. I mean, I'm not saying I don't like the look of it because I do think it's okay. But you've got Anderson, who's not got much attacking threat. Okay, people think he's good for defensive contributions. You've got Rutter. I do quite like Rutter. His fixtures are okay. I wouldn't say they're anything exceptional though. I don't even know if he's 100% going to play. I think he will for what it's worth, but I do like Fernandez. Obviously, Salah's a great option. Palmer, Watkins, etc. But if you look at this team, like this attack, every week you've got Gakpo, Fernandez, Palmer, Wirtz, Watkins, Mateta, João Pedro. They're all teams that I think are really, really good. Chelsea, I think, are going to have a really good season this year. Got João Pedro, Palmer, and Sanchez. I've got a triple up. Liverpool again, I think they're going to have a really good season. Probably win the league. I've got Wirtz, Gakpo, Virgil. Yeah, I just like look at this team, and I've put it into FPL.team. Make sure to use that. It is very, very good. Just to show you. You can basically look at the future projections. As you can see, projected to get 68.4 points with this team. But game week 2, this one you don't need to look at too much. It doesn't actually look that good, which is why I'm planning on a free here. You know, so from game week 3 is where it properly starts. Obviously, you've got the triple Liverpool against Arsenal, which, don't get me wrong, is not an easy game at all. But it is Liverpool, and Liverpool do look sharp. Um, for what it's worth, I think you'd probably make Bruno captain. This week does look really, really nice, though. Really, really nice. Which is why looking at the rotation for say for Murillo, I probably would want to bench him against Arsenal, which is why I needed to look at 4.5 million defender, in which case I probably would have to go for Anderson. Maybe a Newcastle 4.5. I don't know if there is one. I think they're all fives. Spurs again, West Ham. So that's why I'm really am considering the Van de Ven instead of the Diouf, because Diouf against Tottenham, I much prefer Van de Ven against West Ham. Obviously, it's the same game, but I think Tottenham better defence and a better team than West Ham, especially with the appointment of Thomas Frank. Going forward, this looks really nice. Yeah, I think obviously it's tricky. It is difficult, but I think that's where my head's at the minute. I do really like the look at this team. I don't like having a 4.5. So here, Sanchez against Liverpool. So I need to be looking for a goalkeeper that's good in this week. That's 4.5 million, which is a lot trickier than you think it is. Maybe Petrovic, but then I need him for game week 1 for the bench boost. I need him for game week 7 here because Chelsea have Liverpool. So it is difficult. It's really difficult. Maybe the Brighton keeper, actually. Fulham in the first week, decent, I think. And then Wolves in this week is good. Going forward, Nottingham Forest, I could play him. Or if I did go there, Newcastle, no. So it's game week 10. Sunderland's good. Game week 10, instead of playing against Tottenham, I could get Leeds. Yeah, so maybe I'll do go for Brugge instead of Perry. Okay, so that's a change I can make to live tinkering. What you've got to do. This is why FPL team's absolute best. So that's the keeper sorted. And then if we reset it, go all the way back. If we just change that. Okay. Now let's look at the defending. We said Van de Ven would be better, right? So we'll put Van de Ven in. This could be my team here. That bench boost looks good. It looks as good as you're gonna get. Do you know what I mean? Like Rangers could do well, Van de Ven could do fine. Like it looks okay. Do you know what I mean? We're free here in this week. Game week 3. Sanchez is good. Virgil. If I really wanted, I could play Van de Ven if I thought Arsenal were gonna do well. I could just do this. One thing as well that I have also considered is potentially moving Virgil to a 4.5. You know, if I did, I could just keep D off, go to Van de Ven. But then what the heck do I do with 1.5 in the bank? I've looked at going Wirtz to Saka, but I don't like Saka in the fixtures, apart from game week 2, which I'm planning on free hitting anyway. So it makes it really difficult. Which is why I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll just spend the extra 1.5 on Virgil, even though his fixtures aren't necessarily the best in the first 3 weeks. So potentially I'll do that. Rangers, could I play him over one of them? Maybe, probably not. Maybe over João Pedro if his minutes are concerned by them, which they could be. João Pedro is a massive punt. I fully understand that, but I think it's worth the risk. I really do. So obviously, you bring Virgil in for Murillo, you bench Murillo. Got Brentford and Bournemouth. We're playing against Brentford. Man United, I think's okay. Is there maybe a better keeper we could go for? Looking at it, maybe not. Maybe if we went for a Nottingham Forest keeper to start the season. Does that rotate better? Maybe actually. So I could, if I start with Sales and Verbruggen, I could have, obviously this first week's the same, second week bench free hit. Third week, I'd be West Ham or City, so West Ham. We've got Bournemouth or Arsenal, so Bournemouth. We've got Tottenham or Burnley, so we've got Burnley. Then we've got Sunderland or Chelsea, so Sunderland. Then we've got Wolves or Newcastle, so Wolves. Then we've got Chelsea or West Ham, so West Ham. Then we've got Liverpool or Bournemouth, so we've got Bournemouth. Then we've got Man United or Leeds, probably Leeds. We've got Palace or Leeds, probably Leeds again. Liverpool or Brentford. Yeah, I'm actually might change the that. So maybe I've just thought of something completely different. We go this, I think. So we start with, we do this. Then potentially, I don't know how I feel about the double up, but this allows me to then go for Kukurea, which his data's not necessarily the best, but I do really like. Really like. As a premium defender, I think it's just really, really good. So in this video, we have changed it around a bit. That's what I want then at the minute. I think Cells and Verbruggen rotate really well. Van der Ven obviously rotates. We have to see how Van der Ven. I think I just play Kukurea every week though. Their fixtures are I don't know, maybe not in game week 7. Who's Tottenham got in 7? Leeds, perfect. We might be locked. We might be locked in. Yeah, that's where my team is at the minute. Obviously, doing some light tinkering has massively helped that. But yeah, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and like the video. Keep an eye out on Twitter. It's the same handle on TikTok and Instagram as well. But Twitter, I'll be tweeting my team before the deadline that's locked in, and I'll be tweeting throughout the day with updates on where my head's at. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.